Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Carolina Küpper-Tetzel, and these are my office hours. Today, I would like to give a bit of an overview of time management skills. This is a part of a presentation that I give to my students, and I thought it may be useful for others to use as a resource. I'm going to share the slides with you, so you're welcome to use the slides. I'm going to add how to give credit and to share the slides as well. When it comes to time management, very often if you ask students or teachers what it is, they will come up with some of the main key elements of what entails time management, what is time management. But there are a couple of aspects of time management that are less well known, or people are less aware that these elements are actually part of time management. And I'm going to walk you through the different points. So the very first one is probably one that most people are familiar with, is about breaking down tasks. So if students are given an assessment, not only in one subject, but in many others, very often it piles up. Now, all those different tasks do not need to be tackled at once. They can be divided, they can be broken down into smaller subtasks, and students can then start prioritizing those different subtasks. They might need some help doing that and guidance. But very often what I give my students on how to break down a task in smaller subtasks is this one here. So a student may come to my office hour and say, okay, I have scheduled all my different study sessions and what I'm going to do during those study sessions. And I look at it, and for example, it could be that one study session is a block of 3 hours. And in there, the student has noted study biology. So that's the way that they have broken down the task. Now, if you look at this, this is a quite big task, and it's not really concrete. And so one thing that I try to do then is to push students to think about the task in a more concrete way. So instead of saying, I'm going to take those 2-3 hours to study biology, my task will be answer questions from memory on topic X. Yeah. So make that task more digestible and break it down even in more concrete steps. Is something that can really help them and make the entire process less daunting as well. The next point is to plan and to stick with your plans. Now, planning is something that if you ask students at the beginning of the year, when everyone is really motivated to look at their diaries and to decide when they're going to study, they're quite happy to do so. But this is week 1 or week 2 of the academic year. And then as time passes by, other things happen, other activities are prioritized. And all of a sudden, students see that they are struggling to stick with the plan, right? So what I tell them is, it's important for you to make a plan in the beginning. So you have that plan there, you have set aside time when you're going to do studying, when you're going to exercise, and so on. And then make sure to update plans. So if you feel that a specific study slot does not work for you, you have tried, but you can't stick with that plan, update the plan. It's absolutely fine to do that. Also, have them use checklists. So we use overall checklists, weekly checklists that we call progress trackers. So where we summarize the weekly tasks that for the student studying psychology. And we tell them that this is basically the tasks for the different assessments that they have in psychology and so on. But they are also encouraged to think about smaller checklists, daily checklists. So what are they wanted to do in that specific day? What are the tasks that they are prioritizing? What are the tasks that they want to maybe push to another day, and so on. Another thing that comes into sticking with your plans is to use peers as part of accountability. So to help each other, to motivate each other to stick with the plan, maybe to study together. And it doesn't even have to be that they are studying in the same room or that they are studying the exact same subject. It's about, you know what, I'm going to make time to study for an hour now, and someone else is doing the same, and you're just together in that studying bubble, if you want so, and that can really help to stay on track with the study plans and the plans that you make for the academic year. The next item is to work to have a workspace and a work time that you feel comfortable with. It means to pick a spot for studying, a spot that is quiet, where you don't have much distractions around you. Most of the distraction will probably come from their own phones. So it's important for them to have a way to overcome the urge to check an email, to check a message, to check Instagram, and so on. And having a specific workspace and dedicated work time can help with that. Some people use the Pomodoro technique to stay focused for specific spurts of time during that process. So that is something that can be used, so that each study section is kind of divided up into focus time and time where you are distracted and do other things. There's one concept that's called Tiger Time. It's not an official title. It's one that I heard the first time from a writing coach. Her name is Kathy Mazak. And she always talked about Tiger Time. So basically it's to find the time during the day where you're most focused, right? If you're a person who are most focused in the late afternoon, that's maybe where you should have, where you should plan your time to study, to do some writing, and so on, some reading. If you're someone who is really focused in the morning, then probably the morning is your Tiger Time. So listen to yourself and try to find out when is the time in the day when I am most productive, when I'm most creative. Keep your workspace and work time organized. So make sure it's dedicated workspace and work time, so that you feel that whenever you enter that space and enter that time, that everything is in place already and you can start right away with the actual target activity that you came for. Ask for help. So this is one that if you had asked me before I started looking more specifically, I wouldn't have said that that's one of the things that is part of time management. But asking for help is extremely important, because if a student has a question, not sure where to go, how to understand a concept, and so on, and is kind of stuck and stays in that stuck situation, then they are wasting time. They are wasting time trying to wait that something will happen, that they all of a sudden will understand the concept, and or assuming that they may be the only person having that specific problem or that specific question. So after students have looked at resources, at the presentation slides, at the reading and so on, but are still unsure about a concept, a topic, or so on, it's really important that they can seek out help and can ask for help. Because again, the longer the wait, the more time is wasted where they can progress their knowledge and so on. Staying healthy is part of being a successful learner. And it starts with having breaks. So breaks are vital for productivity. They are vital for creativity. Sometimes it's easier to solve problems when you step away from a problem and then come back to it as well. So breaks are really important for learning and for engaging with the material in a more productive and creative way. And what can help are other healthy behaviors as well. Exercising, eating healthy, or going outdoors. If going for a run is not your thing, go for a walk. Yeah. If going for a walk is not your thing, maybe you meet others somewhere to have a social network and connect with others. So there are different ways where we can, as humans, can be healthy and can have a healthy approach to our daily activities. And last but not least, if you can work everything into a routine, then this is something that will really help you to become a structured learner, because routines can help to reduce mental load. It can reduce uncertainties and worries, because you can rely on what will happen next. You have planned for it. You are completing the tasks. You know what to expect from one day to the next. And all these things make it easier to proceed and to develop skills in the long term. So yeah, so these are my time management tips. Again, I'm going to share the slides with you. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much, and bye.